So I've been seeing this idea around social media recently, and it's something I want to talk about. And it's that if you want something, like you truly want it, you got to go all in. You can't have a backup plan or a safety net. You got to burn the boats, and you either make it or you don't. And look, I used to believe that idea as well. I would get hooked into those videos at night, and they would hype me up, you know what I mean? Just ready to quit everything and chase whatever that thing was. But now I realize that advice has probably hurt more people than it's ever actually helped. And no one's really talking about that side of it, so that's what we're going to do today. Alright, so let's actually talk about the grind culture trap here for a minute. I see it as the guy in the expensive car that's telling you that successful people don't take any days off. Or it's one of those videos of someone's morning routine where they wake up at 4 a.m. Like, that's supposed to make you feel bad about sleeping. And it's the same copy and paste crap across thousands of different accounts, and they act like it's some kind of ancient wisdom. And the thing is, it's everywhere. You can't go without scrolling for 5 minutes without bumping into some version of it. And the algorithm loves it, you know, because it's some kind of extreme messaging to get engagement. Makes you feel guilty, you know. And what is this content actually trying to tell you? That if you're tired, you're soft, or if you're scared, you don't want it bad enough, or if you still have a job while you're building something on the side, you're playing it safe. And if you have a plan B, you already failed. And I just don't understand, when did this become the standard, you know? When did having a backup plan become not normal? I don't get it. Okay, so here's the thing that really gets me about all this. Have you ever noticed on every single I quit my job and went all in story you see on the internet, it's always a success story. Every single one. The guy who left his 9 to 5 to start a business and made it, or the creator who put everything on their channel and it blew up, or the person who dropped out of college to chase their dream and now they're living it. And you watch enough of those videos and your brain just goes, okay, so that's how it works. If you go all in, it works out. That's just how life works, you know? But wait a minute, where are the other people at? Because statistically, and we're about to get into the numbers in a second, statistically, for every person who went all in and made it, there are tons of people who went all in and didn't. So where's their content at? They're not posting. Because nobody wants to sit down in front of a camera after losing their savings and be like, hey guys, I burned the boats and I lost everything. Here's what I learned. That kind of video format doesn't go viral. That's not what people click on and engage with. So it just doesn't exist in your feed. And here's why that's important. Your brain is making life decisions based on incomplete information. You're only seeing the wins, and you're never seeing any of the losses. So of course it seems like if you go all in all the time, it'll pay off. You've basically been shown a highlight reel and told it's the full game. And that's survivor's bias. And it's generally one of the most dangerous thinking traps out there, especially when you're young and ambitious and just trying to figure out your next move. Alright, here's the reality of it all. And I know numbers aren't exciting, but just stay with me because it's important. Around 90% of startups fail. Not struggle, but fail. And around 65% of small businesses don't make it past 10 years. 10 years. That's not me being negative, that's just the baseline of what building something actually looks like. And then there's content creation, which a lot of people are burning the boats for right now. Your average content creator that reaches a sustainable income took them somewhere between 3 and 7 years to get there. That's 3 to 7 years. And I'm not talking about some side hustle where you get another stream of income on the side. I'm talking about quitting your job today and relying on that project to sustain you for the rest of your life. So say by year 3 you have nothing, and you have nothing to fall back on. What are you going to do? Because that's pressure. That I have no other option pressure. And that can make you desperate. And desperate people make bad decisions. They take the wrong clients because they need the money right now. They rush products out the door, and they say yes to things that compromise what they're actually trying to build. So the math just doesn't support the dramatic all or nothing bet, especially not at the beginning. At least not for most people. Okay, so the people who push the burn the boats mentality, they always use the same examples. And I actually want to go through a few of them because I feel like they're misread a little bit. Elon Musk, right? The guy who bet everything on Tesla and SpaceX. Except he didn't start from nothing. He had money from PayPal. He came in with a financial foundation. And even with all that, he nearly lost it all. He was borrowing money from his friends to cover his own rent, while both companies were on the verge of dying at the same time. He didn't burn the boats. He survived because he had a network and resources around him that most people just don't have. Then there's Jeff Bezos, the classic quit your job and start Amazon story. But what always gets left out is that he worked at a hedge fund first. He built up his finances, and he had his wife working alongside him. He started in a garage, not by blowing up his entire previous life on a whim. Then there's Mr. Beast, who is literally the poster child for YouTube grind culture. He had years of videos that barely got any views before anything started working. He didn't explode because he bet all in one day. He exploded because he stayed consistent over a long enough time period. He stayed consistent through the slow part, through the part where most people would have quit. These people weren't reckless at all. They were relentless. And those two things may sound similar, but they're completely different. Reckless is jumping off the cliff and hoping there's water. Relentless is finding a way down. These people weren't reckless at all. They were relentless. And those two things may sound similar, but they're completely different. Reckless is jumping off the cliff and hoping there's water. Relentless is finding a way down. Alright, so I've only been talking about what doesn't work for the past couple of minutes. So let me actually tell you what I think does. And look, this isn't any revolutionary advice in any way. It's just pretty straightforward. But nobody talks about it in the grind culture niche because it's not dramatic enough. But build it before you leave. Keep whatever income you have right now and build the thing that you're passionate about on the side. Treat it as a second job. Give yourself goals, set deadlines. Be serious about it. Because here's what having a plan B actually gives you that nobody talks about. It gives you the ability to say no. When you're desperate and you don't have any other option, you take whatever comes because you need something right now. But when you've got some stability, you can wait. You can hold out for the right thing instead of grabbing the first thing. But waiting forever isn't good either. But that'll be for another video. So look, I want to be clear about something before I wrap this up. I'm not telling you to play it safe, and I'm not telling you to stay comfortable. And I'm not telling you that your dream isn't worth chasing, because it probably is. What I'm saying is, the way you chase it matters a lot. The people who actually make it to the other side aren't the ones who made some dramatic bet at the start. They're the ones who stayed in the game long enough for the work to build on itself. They stayed this way long enough to genuinely get good at what they're trying to do, and for the right opportunities to show up. And you can't stay in the game if you're broke and burnt out. You gotta be strategic, you gotta stay in it for the long run. And don't let anybody convince you that being smart about your future means you don't want it bad enough. Alright, that's gonna do it for today. If this hit home for any of you, drop a comment. Seriously, I wanna know where you guys are at with your own projects or whatever you got going on. And if you're new here, subscribe. See you in the next one.